Hi, Matt Zavidal here, and today not only do I want to talk to you about how to succeed in network marketing fast, but also about how just asking that question of how to do it more quickly might be getting you into trouble. And so what I've done is I've come up with three questions here for you that I think if you answer these questions in a real honest way, it'll help you get on track to not just get quick results, but get meaningful and long-term quality results in your business. So here's the three questions. Am I committed to a business mindset as opposed to get rich quick? Number two, do I understand that there's a huge difference between how to succeed in network marketing fast and how to grow my business for long-term sustainable growth? And number three, am I committed to building my business through the C.A.L.M method? Now, you don't know what the C.A.L.M method is yet. I'm going to go over that in the video here for you. But what I wanted to do is before we get into any of that, is jump into a little excerpt here from The E-Myth, a book by Michael Gerber. And if you haven't read this before, I would recommend definitely that you get it because it will really help you think about your business in more of a business-minded, true entrepreneurial way of thinking. So let's just jump in here. And so what he's talking about here are the three personalities that each one of us has inside of us when it comes to starting a business. The first one is the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur is the visionary in us, the dreamer, the energy behind every human activity, the imagination that sparks the fire of the future, the catalyst for change. The entrepreneur is our creative personality. And then he goes on to say this. Given his need for change, the entrepreneur creates a great deal of havoc around him, which is predictably unsettling for those he enlists in his projects. As a result, he often finds himself rapidly outdistancing the others. The farther ahead he is, the greater the effort required to pull his cohorts along. This then becomes the entrepreneurial worldview, a world made up of both an overabundance of opportunities and dragging feet. The problem is, how can he pursue the opportunities without getting mired down by the feet? The way he usually chooses is to bully, harass, flatter, cajole, scream, and finally, when all else fails, promise whatever he must to keep the project moving. To the entrepreneur, most people are problems that get in the way of the dream. Now, before I go into the other two personalities here, this is a great example, or this what he explains here really helps all of us see what happens out there with network marketing in terms of what's being taught to you and to a lot of other people in terms of how do I get more leads? How do I build my business? How do I get these leads to buy from me? How do I get these leads to join my business, right? Because what he's talking about here is what you see happening, for example, on social media. On social media, there's a lot of people out there teaching these methods of, hey, go on the Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever, and start trying to get chats going with people, right? Chat with people, start striking up conversations. It's kind of the online technique of the offline technique of the 3-foot rule, right? Where if you're offline, the idea is anybody that comes within 3 feet of you is a prospect, right? So if I'm in the supermarket, I'm supposed to hit up the people that are buying the stuff with me. I'm supposed to hit up the cashier. If I'm at dinner, I'm supposed to hit up the waitress. And the challenge with that offline and the challenge with that online is that none of these people are really prospects for your business. Think about it. If you are in a health and wellness business, or if your network marketing company sells legal products or personal development products or coffee or whatever business you're in, right? You got a certain product that you sell. That product helps solve a problem for people. Like if you're in a health and wellness business, maybe your product helps people with heart disease, right? So if you're hitting up the cashier at the supermarket or you're just finding people to chat with on Facebook, how do you know that they have heart disease or care about heart disease or have a family member with heart disease? You don't. You have no idea. You're just like shooting a shotgun into the air and hoping it comes down and happen to hit on somebody who would really like to buy your products, right? The better way to do it would be to find a way and a method to do marketing where you actually only attract people into your world that have the problem that you can solve. Okay? So what happens is the entrepreneur in you starts getting frustrated by these methods because you're looking at all these people that you're contacting and nobody's interested and you feel like you're chasing them. And you go to follow up with people and they don't take your call, they stop chatting with you. Well, the reason is and especially if you're doing the other thing on social media, which is being taught of throwing up all these messages on your social media walls of, hey, got to get into my business now. Don't if you don't get in now, you're going to miss the boat. Well, if your business is set up in a way where if I don't join today, as opposed to 30 days from now, or a week from now, or 90 days from now, I've missed the wave, then I don't want anything to do with your business. I'm only interested in getting into a business that's going to help me build something long term, right? 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. So you're doing all that silly stuff because the entrepreneur in you is looking at all these people that you're reaching out to as a problem. Why aren't they paying attention to me, right? And you're screaming at them, as he says here in the book. You're bullying them, you're harassing them, you're trying to get them to buy, right? Or you're putting up product bottles. You're putting up your product bottles on social media. We got the best product for this and that, skincare and all this stuff. And if you're hitting people that don't care about skincare, then of course they're not going to respond to you and they're going to want to block you and all this kind of stuff. So this entrepreneurial thing inside of us, which we need to have to build a business, but as you can see, it can also get us in trouble. So just be aware of that. Okay, let's continue on here. So the manager is the next person that's inside of us when it comes to building a business. And he says the managerial personality is pragmatic. Without the manager, there would be no planning, no order, no predictability. The manager is the part of us that goes out to the store and buys stacking plastic boxes, takes them back to the garage, and systematically stores all the various size nuts, bolts, and screws in her own carefully identified drawer, or whatever you're trying to organize, right? If the entrepreneur lives in the future, the manager lives in the past. Where the entrepreneur craves control, the manager craves order. Where the entrepreneur thrives on change, the manager compulsively clings to the status quo. Where the entrepreneur invariably sees the opportunity in events, the manager invariably sees the problems. The manager builds a house and then lives in it forever. The entrepreneur builds a house and the instant it's done begins planning the next one. The manager is the one who runs after the entrepreneur to clean up the mess. Without the entrepreneur, there would be no mess to clean up. So here's another great example of what happens in network marketing. The entrepreneur in us wants to get success as quickly as possible, right? That's why you're asking how to succeed in network marketing fast, okay? And that's just normal. It's okay. But I want you to start looking at that and asking yourself, is that mentality serving me or getting me into trouble? Like when it talks here about the entrepreneur builds a house and then instantly begins planning the next one. It's like somebody who goes out there looking for ways to get leads for their business, and they find a method, they find somebody teaching one of these social media hacks like, hey, go on to Instagram, come to my webinar, I'll teach you this great way to use Instagram to get leads. And you go on the webinar and you find out what they're teaching is this software that you're going to buy that's like it automates the process somehow on Instagram. There's all kinds of things like out there for Instagram, Facebook bots, all this stuff that you can get involved in. And you use it for a while. It picks up steam. More and more marketers out there, not only for network marketing, for all types of businesses start using it. Instagram or Facebook gets a wind of what's going on, and so they ban that software from being able to be used on their platform anymore. So you've gone out there, and because you're trying to get success fast and you're not thinking long term, you're just grabbing, the entrepreneur inside of you is grabbing at any technique, any hack to try to get leads. And so you do that for 90 days or 6 months. You might get some result, but then all of a sudden it stops working. And now you're starting from ground zero again. How do I build this business? How do I get leads? This thing just stopped working, right? I'm going to teach you a method in a moment that is a method that's been working for 25 plus years on the internet, since the internet began back in the 90s, okay? And if something's been working for 25 plus years, it's probably a good predictor of what's going to happen for the next 25 years. And that's the kind of business I want to run. That's the kind of marketing technique I want to sink all my time into. And we'll get to that in a moment. Okay, so the third personality inside of all of us when it comes to building a business, according to Gerber here, right, in the E-Myth, is the technician. The technician is the doer. If the entrepreneur lives in the future and the manager lives in the past, the technician lives in the present. The technician isn't interested in ideas like the entrepreneur. He's interested in, quote, how to do it. So just tell me how to do this, right? Tell me how to get success. The technician is a resolute individualist, standing his ground, producing today's bread to eat at tonight's dinner. So the technician can actually get you in trouble as well because it's more short-term thinking. It's like all about now. It's like, how do I just do something now? Give me the hack that teaches me how to build this business and get instant success tomorrow. How to succeed in network marketing fast, right? So again, I'm gonna keep challenging you on this idea that you might have. Everyone gets in the technician's way. The entrepreneur is always throwing a monkey wrench into his day with the creation of yet another great new idea. On the other hand, the entrepreneur is always creating new and interesting work for the technician to do, thus establishing a potentially symbiotic relationship. Unfortunately, it rarely works out that way. So, in the end, basically, what he's saying here is to the manager, work is a system of results in which the technician is but a component part. To the manager, then, the technician becomes a problem to be managed. To the technician, the manager becomes a meddler to be avoided. And to both of them, the entrepreneur is the one who got them into trouble in the first place. So let's kind of talk about this a little bit more. What I'd like to challenge you with is whether or not you're really looking for long-term success in your business, okay? Just the fact that you're wondering how to succeed in network marketing fast gives me concern for your future. And here's why. It makes me wonder if you're just looking for a marketing hack that you think is going to get you over the hump, and all of a sudden, magically, by doing some hack on social media somewhere, you're all of a sudden going to see these streams of leads coming into you, and you're just going to build this business almost by magic, right? And I just want you to think instead of that, be thinking in terms of long-term success. You know, in society today, there's very much this thought process of instant result, try to multitask and do a million things at once, trying to get instant success. You know, where people are watching Netflix over here, watching Hulu and Amazon on three different screens, and at the same time they're on Facebook and Instagram making messages and answering people. And it's just like this ADD mentality, right? I understand because I did this at one point too in my past, where I thought that I could just do this quick hack thing and all of a sudden I get this instant success, and I chased after this and I chased after that, and it just doesn't work. And finally, I decided that I was going to really just investigate out there, what do real true entrepreneurs do? How do they really build a business that has long lasting effects? And what I discovered was that there's a way to build on the internet that does get quick results, relatively speaking, when I'm thinking long term, but it's building for the long term. So, and that's why I call it the calm method, because I would rather build my business in a way where I feel calm inside doing it. And I don't feel like I'm chasing after these crazy strategies and crazy hacks, or, you know, people come onto these videos and start teaching you stuff and saying, you know, I went up on the mountain and I meditated with monks. And then it came in a flash, and I figured out this piece of software that's going to go on Instagram and it's just going to magically bring me leads. And so now I'm going to sell this to you, and you're just going to go do this, put it on autopilot, hit the button, and riches are just going to automatically come to you. And it comes from the monks up on the mountain. Okay. Now I'm being a little bit funny about it, but you know what I mean? You've seen these types of things out there, right? And so I saw them too, and I tried them and just was frustrated and frustrated and frustrated. So here's what I found out. There really is a couple of principles that work all the time on the internet when it comes to building any type of business. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's network marketing, affiliate marketing, creating your online course, coaching businesses, all that kind of stuff. But specifically, if you came here and you have a network marketing business and you want to create a real stream of true prospects coming into your business, meaning they're targeted prospects, they're people that have the problem that you guys can solve from your business and your product and so on. There's one way to do it, and there's really two things that are going on. And when I say that these things have worked since the 90s when the internet began and they still work today, they do. I only had to learn these principles once, and I just keep doing them repeatedly, kind of like opening up new marketing channels each time I put out content. And it continues to work on a nice, steady, regular basis, and it continues to grow my business month by month by month. And I'm not chasing after tactics. I'm just doing tried and true business principles. And what those basically are building a website or a blog around the topic of the industry that you're in based on the business that you're in. So if you're in a health and wellness company, you're in the health and wellness industry. If your business is selling legal products, you're in the legal industry. If your network marketing company is selling personal development stuff, you're in the personal development industry or niche, right? And so all you need to do is figure out how to build a blog where you put out really good content that attracts traffic and gets people to see you as someone who's really helping first with all of that. And you come to be seen as like a trusted advisor. And then they want to buy from you because you're solving their problem first and you're giving them tips and help. So then when you position the product or the opportunity in front of them, it just makes more sense for them to say, yeah, I want to do this with you because I've come to trust you. Think about how entirely different that is as opposed to you jumping on social media and chasing people, trying to sell them, pushing your bottles on them, pictures of your product bottles, yelling about how great your business is and all that kind of stuff. It's completely different. It's coming at them in a whole different way. And so as you're putting out that content, you want to also have a mechanism in place where you can attract a certain percentage of the people that find the content to join your email list. So you're getting subscribers. And now you've got subscribers that you can market to and teach and train first, and then basically market to over time, okay, until they come to trust you enough to want to buy from you. Now, why would I say do that as opposed to all the social media stuff? Well, if you think about it, building a blog and having an email list, those are two things that you own. It's like building a business on bedrock as opposed to sand because you own the blog and the content there and you own your email list. Like you could take your email list and go from email service provider to the next one based on features and benefits that the next one might give you, but you own the list, okay? As opposed to building your business on social media where if you do something against their terms of service like an Instagram or Facebook or something, you could wake up tomorrow and even if you had 100,000 fans or followers, that account could be wiped out and now you got nothing. Right? Because you're renting your business on those social media sites. You're building on sand, okay? What I have done and what I teach other people how to do is build on bedrock with something that you own, a blog. Then you can use social media kind of like satellites. Like imagine your blog being Earth. It's something real, just like you can walk outside your house and you're walking around on the earth, okay? You can feel it, okay? It's there. Your blog is something real that you own. And then your social media like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff are like satellites up in the sky pointing back down to Earth. You want to have those things around your blog pointing in so you can develop those sites. And there's ways to actually use them in a more effective manner than what I've been talking about, posting and selling and shouting and screaming about how great your product is. There's ways to provide value on those satellites and then have any traffic that you're getting to them point back down to your blog, where on your blog, you're continuing the conversation and the education and getting people to become a part of your email list. And that process, there's a lot that goes into that, right? But that process has been working for 25 plus years on the internet. It hasn't really changed much, okay? Where social media keeps coming by, and there's all these new social media platforms, new ways to do things. And man, you can get ADD and just trying to figure out all these gurus out there teaching all these social media hacks. I mean, it can make you crazy, right? But the process I'm talking about is a process you learn once and you just keep doing it over and over and you'll see your business grow month by month by month. That's what I've seen. My thinking is, hey, if that's been working for 25 plus years, it's probably a good predictor that that same process is going to work for the next 25 years. And that's the kind of business I want to run. So if you're interested in leads and generating all that for your business and getting quality leads coming in, this is the way I would recommend you do it. And I can teach it to you. And so that brings me to the C.A.L.M method. Let me kind of finish off this video with this C.A.L.M method. And so just write this down. I've just got my notes here in front of me. C.A.L.M, C stands for content marketing. Put out some good content teaching people, for example, how to help heart disease, how to get a lawyer, some personal development stuff. Why coffee, not your coffee yet, but just why coffee in general can be healthy and that kind of thing. Bring them in with good quality content that teaches them something that helps them get closer to solving the problem that they have. Okay, you're not talking about products yet. You're not talking about your business yet. You're not even talking about yourself yet. You're just giving them good quality content. And there's easy ways to do this that I can teach you. So content marketing is C. Attract traffic is A, because by putting out good quality content, whether it's a podcast, a blog, something on social media, it could be a video, it could be any type of content that points back into your blog, like I already explained, is going to attract traffic. But that traffic that's being attracted is people specifically that are interested in solving the problem that your product or business solves for them. The L of C.A.L.M is lead with value. So you continue to lead with value. So as you get subscribers from your blog, you're going to keep putting out some good quality content, kind of continuing the conversation there. And that's pre-selling folks into really seeing you as a trusted advisor, someone they would like to do business with. And then the M stands for monetize. So now you're going to start monetizing and actually making sales from people that have the problem you solve, not just random people that you find on your friends and family list or random people you find on Facebook, but actually people you've attracted through the C.A.L.M method that have the problem, want to solve it, and now they see you as the person that's positioned themselves perfectly to be the person to buy from to solve it. Okay? So that's what's going to happen there. So what I want you to really start thinking about, have a business mindset from day one. And what I mean by that, there's a difference between I'm a solopreneur who has a business from I'm just someone selling MLM products, or I'm just an MLM rep for some company. Someone selling products, someone who thinks of themselves as a rep, is not really thinking about being a business person or an entrepreneur. Can you see the difference there? I'm a solopreneur who has a business, just happens to be that my business that I'm selling on the back end of all my content, attracting traffic, leading with value, and monetizing is a product put out by a network marketing company. That's just the back end. But really, I'm the front of my business. I'm the face of my business. Does that make sense? Just hope you start getting this mentality going with yourself as opposed to just, how do I succeed in network marketing fast? Just the very nature of that question tells me that you're thinking more about tactics and just getting some quick result, but not really thinking about where am I going to be in my business 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 or 12 or 15 or 20 years from now. Okay, so let's go back to those original 3 questions that I asked you, which were, am I committed to a business mindset as opposed to get rich quick? Do I understand that there's a huge difference between how to succeed in network marketing fast and how to grow my business for long-term sustainable growth? And number 3, am I committed to building my business through the C.A.L.M method? If the answers to those questions are yes, would you like me to show you how to go step by step in setting all that up? Because if you would, then I would recommend that you go to, I'll put this link near this video somewhere if you're seeing it on one of my web pages, or if it's on YouTube, it'll be in the description somewhere. But I'll help take you to the next step and start teaching you step by step how to go from where you are now, how to start thinking about, hey, look, this is the industry that I'm in. So Matt, teach me how to set up a blog that begins solving these problems for people, that puts out quality content to attract this traffic. Show me how to pre-sell properly so people come to see me as a trusted advisor so I can position my products and opportunity in front of them, and then that's my monetization, right? And I can show you how to do it step by step. Now, another way you can do it without me is just you could figure all this out on your own. And don't ever let anybody tell you that they've got all the answers and like they're the only answer, right? Like you could go to YouTube and Google and start searching for, how do I build a blog based around a network marketing business? How do I do all this stuff and how do I make it work? You could do that. You have the brains. I know you do. I taught it to myself. I know you can do it, right? But in my experience of teaching it to myself over the years, I took a lot of bad turns. I went down a lot of dead ends trying to figure all this out, right? So I do know that you can teach it to yourself, but it can take longer because you have to go down some dead ends sometimes as you're experimenting, trying to figure out how to get this C.A.L.M method to really work for you. And so if you would rather just kind of get that process sped up and have someone like me just teach it to you step by step so that you don't go down any dead ends and you just do the right thing from the beginning, then I would just invite you to click the link that is near this video or in the description. And basically what it is just my website, mattzavidal.com/next step. That's the URL you want to go to, mattzavidal.com/next step. And just go there and I can begin teaching you step by step how to put this process in place. So no longer will you be chasing after the next social media hack, attracting people, or really repelling people as you're trying to attract people, right? But instead, learning how to really be of value to people and really provide them upfront content that solves their problems so that they see you as a trusted advisor that they want to do business. That's an entirely different way to build your business. It's so much more fun, I think, than going after the quick, get rich quick stuff and how to succeed in network marketing fast and how do I just make a quick buck but not really be building for the long term. And when the social media hack that's got me that quick buck stops working, I'm starting over from scratch and it always just feels like I'm a hamster on a hamster wheel going around and around, and I'm not really seeing steady growth. I'll teach you how to get relatively quick results, but do it in a way where you see steady growth month by month by month, year by year, and really be in a good place 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, and 20 years from now. Okay, so if that all sounds great, then great. Go to the next step with me, mattzavidal.com/next step. and we'll do that together. And by the way, if this video was really helpful to you, I'd appreciate it if you hit like on it. And if you have a question possibly, go ahead and comment on the video. I'll be happy to help answer any questions there. And then definitely subscribe to my channel. That way you'll make sure you get notified whenever I send out new content like this for you.